Our cat, Day Day. Day Day joined our family after we lost a special little orange kitten I had raised on the bottle, named Stormy Stormborn. I had just begun to read George R. Martin's Game of Thrones book series, and his name was derived from Daenerys Targaryen's middle name. Little Stormy died a violent death when he was only 3 months old. It broke my heart. We had other cats at the time. Stingray was still living, so was his mother, and our cat Temporary. But I wanted another baby, like Stormy. So I went to the animal shelter with that in mind. They had plenty of cats and kittens. I picked out a little gray kitten, just over 8 weeks old, then walked around and looked at the cages. One held a family of older teenage cats of various colors. An outgoing gray mackerel tabby reached out of the cage and grabbed my glasses off my head. The guy in the orange jumpsuit on duty commented, "He wants to go with you." I snatched my glasses back from the show-off tabby and noticed his brother in the back of the cage, a shy, gray and white cat with a crooked tail. He had a look of resignation on his face, like he knew what was next for teenage cats at the animal shelter. "I'll take that one too," I said. I named them the Greyjoys, still inspired by the Game of Thrones books, Theon and Asha Greyjoy. One morning, the overly adventurous little Asha was out catting before work and chased a flock of birds out on the Green Farm Road and was hit by a car. Another violent death. I changed Theon's name the next day. By that time, I'd gotten to know him better, and I had progressed into the books a little further. His name did not fit. He was not Ironborn. He was not a Greyjoy. He just wasn't. He was sweet, playful, funny, and just a little bit simple. Sometimes he just didn't think things out properly. What possessed him to get his head stuck in the chicken pen wire? The chickens went for his eyes, and when he tried to pull back, of course his head and ears wouldn't go through backwards. And if we hadn't been standing there nearby, I hate to think what would have happened. Then there was his obsession with the ceiling fan in the garage. Why did he feel the need to ride upon it, especially when it slapped him down time and time again? We moved the shelving he used to get up that high to make the leap over to the fan, but then he just used the raised garage door as a launch pad, which brought even more problems. We were constantly getting him in and out of jams he'd gotten himself into. Ice Cube's Friday movies are some of my favorites. And out of all the characters, Craig's cousin, Day Day, from the last 2 movies, makes me laugh the most with his poor decision-making skills. So that's how the teenage gray cat ended up being named Day Day instead of Theon Greyjoy. It was a good decision. The name fit, and he went on to live a long, happy, and storied life. If I tell all his stories, it'll take all day, so we'll just stick to the time he broke his back and hip. We don't know how he did it, but when we came home from work one day, we found Day Day dragging his back legs. Dr. Owens did an x-ray, and the picture of his back looked like a pile of pickup sticks. Dr. O said it didn't look like he'd been run over because there was no crushing. But he surmised that the breaks came from a fall, possibly out of a tree, hitting limb after limb on the way down, hence the multiple breaks. Poor Day Day. He got a shot of steroids, and we decided to leave it at, let's see what happens. Besides dragging his legs, he didn't seem to be in any distress. Day Day adapted and went without the use of his back legs for over 3 months. He wandered around the yard and up and down the rows of the garden, dragging those legs. He could go in and out of the cat door and do his business outside and kept himself clean and tended to. He learned how to climb in and out of the bed and on and off the furniture. After a while, calluses developed on what used to be the front of his back legs. He made tracks in the dirt like a snail, dragging those legs. We thought that was how he'd live the rest of his life. Then, one day, he pulled up one of those back legs forward and took a step. It was slow and unsteady, and he lay down afterwards, but he looked pleased with himself, and we cheered to the rooftops. The next day, he used the other leg too. Day Day could walk again. Yay! After a few days, he could run too. But he didn't have complete control over his back legs, and they were like a bucking bronco swinging here, there, and everywhere when he ran and played. He could climb trees again too. We were happy with his recovery, and so was Dr. O, who said, with cats, you just never know. Ain't that the truth? But it wasn't over. Throughout his snail phase, which we came to call those months he dragged his legs, he kept favoring and licking an area on his side. The area turned out to be an opening, which Rod named the dream port. He kept licking it because it occasionally exuded some sort of bodily fluids. Dr. O said draining was good, but was just about as perplexed as us over where it was coming from. And we talked about how much money we wanted to spend on investigating the drain port situation. Or did we just want to wait and see like we did with the spine and hip break? Let's wait and see, Rod, Day Day, and I decided. He licked at that spot on and off for 4 or 5 months until one night, while we were all in bed watching TV, Day Day got real serious, digging at that drain port in his side, and pulled out a bone. A bone. He pulled it out with his teeth. We both watched in stunned silence. I swear, y'all, ask Rod. I don't know whatever happened to that bone, but over the next few weeks, the drain port closed up and healed. It left a walnut-sized indentation at the spot that he carried the rest of his life. But other than that, old Day Day was good to go. He lived a decade after that, a long life, a total of at least 12 to 13 years. He was around long after Stingray, Tootie, and Temporary passed away. Heck, he even outlived Boo. With all those bad decisions, close calls, and injuries he had, Day Day died peacefully in a favored shady spot under the chase tree on the patio amongst the flowers. Rod found him curled up like he was asleep. Good night.